Throughout the semester, I have collected, processed, and analyzed data from sample sites around the city of Galveston regarding the types of litter I've collected from said sample sites. Today, I'll be presenting that data as well as discussing the implications of what my data has concluded. This map depicts my 4 sample sites from around the city of Galveston: the Galveston Pleasure Pier Beach, the 61st Street Pier Beach, the Dollar General parking lot, and the Tammy G Fishing Pier Beach. In regards to the total litter I've collected, about 85% was carbon-based papers and plastics, 10% was metal-based litter, and 5% was silicon-based litter. By type, most of the litter collected was carbon-based paper in the form of smoking products, mostly cigarettes, as well as a lot was made up of food and drink related litter, which was mostly made up of carbon-based plastics. To continue, the Galveston Pleasure Pier Beach and 61st Street Pier Beach yielded similar results, in which most was carbon-based litter with a little bit of silicone and plastic as well, both on the 24th and 21st of September, my 2 sample dates. On both beaches as well, there was a large amount of food, drink, and smoking-based products, all of which were carbon, as well as some metal and glass and other metal and silicon-based litters. Conversely, on the Dollar General parking lot, there was much more carbon with barely any metal and silicon, but there was also a lot more paper as well compared to the plastic, mostly due to the fact that there was less wind and water in those areas to drive away some of the lighter paper products. This is why in these areas there is a lot more paper-based carbon, but in general, most of the litter I collected from these sample sites were carbon-based litter. Now I will be discussing the implications of what I have found. While the metal and silicon-based litter can still be dangerous, it is much more dense than water, causing it to sink, meaning that it does not pose much danger to many organisms due to the surface of the water. Similarly, the paper carbon-based plastic is not dangerous as it is a very natural product and can biodegrade very quickly. So it does not pose a danger to animals, even if it is consumed. These litters that I've described make up about 65 to 70% of the litter I've collected, which means that the other 30 to 35% is the carbon-based plastics I have found throughout my sample sites all over Galveston. These type of plastics are high in carbon and they are not very natural, which means they do not biodegrade easily. They can be broken down by the sun, but that just causes them to break down into much smaller particles, which can still be dangerous. They can, according to Erickson, my first source, break down and float, which allows them to be distributed all around the world, getting into every niche and every environment in our world's oceans. In the Galveston area, larger carbon-based plastic litter in the form of straws, bags, bottles, and wrappers can do many things to our marine life in our Galveston environment in general, including tangling the fins of dolphins and sea turtles, causing them to sink to the bottom of the seafloor and drown, tangling up the gills of fish, causing the similar phenomenon. They can simulate the look of jellyfish, causing turtles to eat them and causing them to choke and die. And they can also just in general litter our beaches and cause tons of problems for many terrestrial animals as well. When plastic is exposed to the sun, it can also cause it to break down to much smaller plastic particulate, which can be eaten by game fish and be very quickly bioaccumulated into the environment, causing much larger predators like sharks, larger game fish, humans, seabirds, etc., to build up plastic in their stomachs, starving them as well, and in general, just posing a very large danger to the environment. And it's very easy to see why small plastic particulate can be very, very dangerous for many marine environments, especially the Galveston environment. Around 45 to 35% of these samples that I found were carbon-based plastics, and this highlights the danger to the Galveston area, as such a large amount of plastic can be found just by anyone looking around on the beach for 15 minutes, and it signals the possible destruction of various species in the Galveston area, which can domino affect the destruction of many of our marine environments. This relates to my major of marine biology and the fact that plastic is a big threat to marine life, and if this trend continues, Galveston could become uninhabitable to any sort of marine life at all. I plan to use my major after college in the area of shark conservation, and this relates back to this research here in the fact that if this trend continues, too much plastic pollution could either drive away or kill any sharks in the area, leaving none to be conserved by anyone in my field. But this problem can also be helped by what I learned in chemistry this semester. Knowing the chemical makeup of various plastics, the science behind decay and other reactions, as well as their products, can help a lot with conservation. Overall, the litter samples I found in my surveys bear poor news for Galveston marine environments, but what I learned in chemistry can definitely help a lot, as my knowledge in chemistry surrounding chemical makeups, reactions, and other things can be very invaluable for my future career in marine biology. If the trend of pollution that I've seen today persists, Galveston could be, like many other marine environments around the world, where marine life could become almost non-existent in its environments. Thank you.